Hi, ma'am, your full name and date of birth?
Tiffany Altogether, and my date of birth is...
Thank you. So you are here for a new case out of Superior Court. This is alleging 2 counts of child abuse, a Class 4 felony with the offense date of August 19 of 2024. In your case, the Public Defender's Office has been appointed to represent you. The court dates you have at this time are a status conference August 27 with a preliminary hearing August 29 at 8:30, and those are both going to be at the Superior Court in downtown Phoenix. I did receive a written recommendation from the state in this matter requesting a $50,000 secured appearance bond. Based on the nature of the offense that you are here for, the danger that you could pose to the alleged victims in this matter, I do believe that a bond is appropriate. I have weighed, though, the otherwise very limited criminal history that I've seen here for you. So I am going to be setting a bond, but that'll be a $10,000 secured appearance bond. That as a secured bond, you are able to work with a bail bonding company in order to post that amount. And if you do post bond in our release, you do have some additional orders here that you are not to have any contact with the alleged victims or any complainant or witness. You are not to possess any weapons while on release. There is an order of protection issued. You must obey that order. Since I know DCS was involved in this because I saw a removal order, you are to obey the directives, any directives that DCS gives, and you may only have contact with the alleged victims in this matter if you do receive advanced written approval from DCS. That contact would have to be supervised. If they are no longer residing at your home at this time, you are able to return there. If they are residing at your home, you would need to find an alternate residence since you are ordered right now to have no contact. Any questions regarding any of this information that I just went over?
For the bond, do I have to put 10% down? I've never been to jail before.
It's a secured appearance bond, so you're able to work with a bail bonding company, and I know people always ask me if that's the 10% with security, and that often is the case, but as far as what they would require to work through a bonding company, you're going to have to talk to them. Okay? So there are phone numbers on the wall in the next room that you're going to be going to, including several phones, so you'll be able to reach out to them if you want to.
Okay.
Okay? All right, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, so we have Raimundo Batista and Richard Harper up next. All right, sir, your full name and date of birth?
Raimundo Batista, 01.
Okay, thank you. So you've got 2 separate cases here today. They're both probation violation warrants that were issued. In each of your probation matters, there was a petition to revoke filed that alleges a violation of terms 3, 4, 5, and 15 of your probation term. The Public Defender's Office has been appointed to represent you. You do have a revocation arraignment hearing set on August 28 at 8:30. That'll be at the Superior Court located in downtown Phoenix. In each of these matters, the bond in your warrants have been affirmed. So they each have a $2,500 secured appearance bond. The total is $5,000 for both of them. These are secured. You are able to work with a bail bonding company. If you do post bond and are released, you are on IPS for that level of supervision, so you do need to contact probation within 24 hours rather than that standard 72. All right, any questions regarding that?
No.
All right, so if you want to go and step over, you go and pick up that paperwork.
I do have a question.
Go ahead.
My bad. So I have court when again?
Your next court date is August 28th.
Okay.
It's a revocation arraignment hearing, so it's for the probation matters. What's happened is a petition to revoke has been filed, and it looks like you've already been reinstated a couple times, so you've already been through the process. So this will be your initial hearing in front of the probation judge for the petitions to revoke. Okay?
All right. So on the 28th, I will go for...
August 28th.
Probation violation, right?
That's for the probation, yes.
And then the other one is for what?
For your other open case, the one that you were initially arrested on, I don't know what you're in for. I don't know what they originally brought you in for, if that's what you're asking. That's not out of us. Yeah, that's out of a different court. All right, so we've got Richard Harper and then Alessandro Zaragoza will be up next. All right, sir, your full name and date of birth?
Richard Allen Harper, 5.
All right, thank you, sir. So you are here for a two separate cases. The first one is going to be a new case out of Superior Court. This is alleging one count of aggravated DUI, a Class 4 felony with the offense date of August 20, so yesterday. The public defender has been appointed to represent you, and the court dates you have at this time are a status conference on August 27 with that preliminary hearing August 29, both at 8:30 a.m. Those will be at the Superior Court located in downtown Phoenix. So in this matter, I am going to be setting a bond. You have a placeholder bond here in the amount of $50. I'm putting this bond in place because you are going to have a bond in your probation case, which is also here. So in this case, you're also ordered not to consume any alcohol or possess any alcohol. You also must contact probation within 72 hours if you do post bond and are released. Your probation case is here today for a Term 1 violation. So it's this new aggravated DUI is what triggered that. So the public defender is appointed there as well. Revocation arraignment hearing August 28 at 8:30, again at the downtown Phoenix Superior Court. In that matter, you have a $2,500 secured appearance bond. So it's $3,000 total for both, or I'm sorry, $2,550 total for both matters. And again, if you do post bond and are released, still have same probation terms, you do need to contact probation within 72 hours.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, any questions regarding that?
No, ma'am.
Thank you, sir. All right, so Mr. Zaragoza and Samuel Stoltz will be up next. All right, sir, if you could state your full name and date of birth.
Elisandro Zaragoza,
Right, thank you. So you are here for two separate cases, and each of these cases are going to be for probation violation warrants that have been issued. So in each of your probation matters, there was a petition to revoke filed alleging a violation of terms 3 and 5 of your probation. The public defender has been appointed to represent you, and you've got a revocation arraignment hearing set on August 28 at 8:30, and that'll be at the Superior Court in downtown Phoenix. So in this matter, let's see. Actually, you've got low bonds. You had minimal bonds in each of your warrants. So in each of those, in lieu of setting a minimal, what's otherwise just really a placeholder bond, you are being released in these cases. So you're being released, but it's going to be subject to the supervision of pretrial services. So before you go, you're going to get some additional you're not pretrial services, probation. You're subject to the supervision of your probation officer. You still need to comply with all terms of probation. That does include contacting them within 72 hours. I'll let you know if you leave here and continue to not comply and they do a supplemental petition to revoke, you won't have the same luck next time. Okay,
No.
You'll be held. All right, any questions regarding that?
no, ma'am.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, so we have Samuel Stoltz and Nelson Lopez Ruiz up next. All right, sir, your full name and date of birth?
Samuel Henry Stoltz, 5.
All right, thank you. So you are here for two separate cases. The first one I have here is going to be for a bench warrant. Let me see. Actually, both of these are for bench warrants that were issued. The first one's for a probation case. The second one's for your open felony case. So in your first matter, your next court date is going to be a non-witness violation hearing, August 28 at 8:30. And in that matter, the bond and the warrant's been affirmed. This is your probation case. That's a $1,000 secured appearance bond. Your second case that you have here, which is your open matter, the court dates there are going to be a status conference August 27 at 8:30, preliminary hearing August 29 at 8:30, still at the downtown Phoenix Superior Court. The bond in that warrant, which has also been affirmed, is $250, so it's $1,250 secured appearance for each of those matters total. So if you do post bond and are released from custody, you're still on supervised probation. You do still need to comply with all terms. That does include contacting probation within 72 hours. All right, any questions regarding that?
The total for both those was?
$1,250.
Okay.
Yes,
Thank you.
you've got $1,000 and then a $250.
Okay.
Okay?
Thank
All right,
you.
thank you, sir.
All right.
All right, so we have Nelson Lopez Ruiz and then Malik Jones will be up next. All right, so your full name and date of birth?
Nelson Abraham Lopez Ruiz.
So you are here for a warrant that was issued that is out of the Arrowhead Justice Court. Their case number is TR 2021-143579. In this matter, an arraignment hearing is now set on August 23rd at 8:30. That'll be at the Arrowhead Justice Court. I do show that this is now the second failure to appear warrant issued in this matter, so I did affirm the bond set by the judge over there. That's $1,339, and that is a secured appearance bond. Since I did set the bond in this case, I did also appoint the Public Defender's Office to represent you for that purpose. That's required by Rule 6.1 now. So you'll get this information in a moment, but any questions regarding it?
No.
All right, sir, if you want to step over, you can go ahead and have a seat. Thank you. All right, Mr. Jones, and then it's Malik Jones, and then Troy Brom will be up next. All right, sir, your full name and date of birth?
Malik Gregory Jones.
All right, thank you. So you've got two separate cases here today. Let's see if they're the same. No, the first one is the bench warrant. So this is a bench warrant that was issued for a failure to appear in your current open felony case. This is the 2023 CR number. So in this matter, you've got a status conference now set August 27 with that preliminary hearing August 29, both at 8:30 at the Superior Court in downtown Phoenix. And in that matter, there is a $500 secured appearance bond. The bond and the warrant's been affirmed, okay? So your second case you have here, this is for a warrant that was issued for a direct complaint that's been filed. That direct complaint alleges one count of possession of narcotic drugs, a Class 4 felony, one count of possession of drug paraphernalia, Class 6 felony. That has the offense date of April 10 of 2023. Same court dates in that matter. You've got the status conference August 27, prelim August 29, public defender appointed in that matter as well. And in this case, what I've done is I just lowered that bond down to a $50 placeholder bond. I just needed to make sure you have a bond in both matters so they know you're in custody in both cases, just in case you don't post that first one, okay? Any questions regarding either?
No.
All right. If you want to go and step over, you can go and pick up that paperwork right now. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, so we have Troy Brom, and then Alex Rose will be up next. All right, sir, your full name and date of birth?
Troy Michael Brown.
And your date of birth? Sir, so you are here for a probation violation warrant that was issued. This is for a petition to revoke that was filed alleging a violation of term 3 of your probation terms. So the Public Defender's Office has been appointed here to represent you. You do have a revocation arraignment hearing set on August 28 at 8:30. That'll be at the Superior Court located in downtown Phoenix. The bond and the warrant has been affirmed. That's going to be a $750 secured appearance bond. If you do post bond and you are released from custody, you are still on supervised probation. You do still need to abide by all terms, including contacting probation within 72 hours. Any questions for me at this time?
No, ma'am.
Thank you, sir. All right, so we have Alex Rose and then Cody Purgett will be up next. All right, Mr. Rose, go and state your full name and date of birth.
Alex Allen Lee Rose.
Sir, you are here for a bench warrant that was issued for a failure to appear. So in this matter, you now have a status conference set on August 26th at 8:30. That'll be at the Superior Court in downtown Phoenix still. And in this matter, the bond in your warrant's been affirmed. So this is a $250 cash-only appearance bond, okay?
Okay, so I'm not getting released, right?
You're not being released, and
Okay.
yeah, you're not being released. You do have to post the bond. So if you're able to post the bond, then yes, you would be released. If you're
And
unable
how-
to, then you'd remain in custody, be transported to your court date.
How would be the best way to do that?
To post it,
Yeah.
you can ask the officers in the back what the process is.
Okay.
There are going to be phones in the next room too if you do need to reach out to someone in order to
And
assist you with
my
that.
court date's when?
Your next court date's the 26th, August 26th. It's the 21st today.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
All right. Thank you, sir.
All right.
All right. So we have Cody Purgett and Dustin Ackley up after that. All right, sir. If you could state your full name and date of birth.
Cody Allen Purgett.
Sir, so you are here for a new case out of Superior Court. It is alleging one count of possession of narcotic drugs, a Class 4 felony, one count of possession of drug paraphernalia, Class 6 felony, one count of disorderly conduct, Class 1 misdemeanor, one count of criminal damage, Class 1 misdemeanor, one count of assault, also a Class 1 misdemeanor. Those all have an offense dated today, August 21. The Public Defender's Office has been appointed here to represent you in this case. Your court dates at this time are going to be a status conference set on September 5th and a preliminary hearing September 9th, both at 8:30. Those will be at the downtown Phoenix Superior Court. So in this matter, I am going to follow the PSA recommendation with respect to release today. However, I am increasing the supervision given the nature of the offense as well as a review of your prior history. So you are being released, but it is going to be subject to the supervision of pretrial services.
Yes, ma'am.
You're also going to have electronic monitoring
Okay.
installed prior to your release because you're going to have orders here that you are not to return to the scene of the offense
Okay.
and no contact with any alleged victim, complainant, or witness. So if you're
Okay.
previously residing at that location, that does mean you would need to find an alternate residence, okay? Now, and because you're doing that, if you do need to go back there in person because you have personal items that,
Yes.
that you need to pick up in person,
Even if sorry, I didn't mean to
you
interrupt
can, let me finish and
Okay,
I'll turn it
I'm
over to you. You can only do that using a civil standby. That's done by contacting local law enforcement
Yes.
to schedule that, okay? And I do just need to advise you that a violation of a no victim contact order and a criminal release order, that could constitute aggravated harassment. That's a Class 6 felony, okay? Any questions regarding this?
So even if she's been detained or is in a facility, it's the same thing, or I can go back to my house? 'Cause
At this time,
Okay.
no.
Okay.
So at this time, I'll leave the order in place. That doesn't mean it can't change. So
Okay.
if after being released from here, you find out that that's the case, that the home is empty, that's certainly something that can be addressed.
Okay.
Okay, but I'm going to leave that up to your assigned judge to make
All right.
any changes, given the nature of this.
All right.
Okay? All right, any other questions?
No, ma'am.
All right, thank you.
Thank you very much.
All right, so we've got Dustin Ackley and Daniel Cavazos will be up next. All right, so your full name and date of birth?
Justin Ackley,
All right, thank you, sir. So you are here for a bench warrant that was issued. That's for failure to appear in CR 2024-136069. So in this matter, you now have a status conference set September 5th and a preliminary hearing September 9th, both at 8:30. That'll be at the Superior Court in downtown Phoenix. I did take a look at your docket. Looks like this is the first warrant that's been issued in this case. I see you were previously released on your own recognizance. I also looked up your criminal history. They don't show any other priors or prior failures to appear. So for that reason, if I release you today, are you going to be able to show up at that next court date?
yes.
All right, so I'll give you a second shot to show up. I am increasing supervision this time. This time you're going to be released subject to the supervision of pretrial services, so you're going to get their contact information and some instructions with your paperwork.
Okay.
You do need to stay checked in with them.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah,
All right, so I'll just warn you, if you come in again on another bench warrant on this one, you won't have the same
Right.
look again, okay?
yeah, so,
All right. Any questions?
I don't know if it's gonna change anything, but did the motion to quash, or, am I saying that right, squash?
Motion to quash the warrant?
Yeah, I had mailed that in literally last week and had the paperwork with me. When the cops pulled me over, I told them straight out, I said, hey, I have a bench warrant, but I have the motion,
Yeah.
in process.
It has not been docketed yet. Like, it doesn't, like, I can't see it. I can't see that
Okay.
anything's been submitted.
All right,
It doesn't change anything today.
Right.
I would still probably do pretrial services because I do look at
Yeah, that's
increased supervision if I'm
And
going to
I-
be releasing you on the warrant.
I appreciate it, thank you.
All right. Any other questions?
No.
All right. Thank you, sir. All right. So we have Daniel Cavazos and Gerard Flores is going to be up next. All right. So your full name and date of birth?
Daniel Cavazos, one.
All right, thank you, sir. So you've got two separate cases here. So the first one is going to be a new case out of Superior Court. This one is alleging one count of possession of dangerous drugs. That's a Class 4 felony. One count of possession of narcotic drugs, also a Class 4 felony. One count of criminal trespass in the third degree. That's a Class 3 misdemeanor. So in this matter, the Public Defender's Office has been appointed to represent you. You do have a status conference set September 5th and a preliminary hearing September 9th, both at 8:30, and that's going to be at the Superior Court in downtown Phoenix. So in this matter, I am going to be following the PSA recommendation here. You are being released, but it is going to be subject to the supervision of pretrial services. So before you go, you'll get their contact information along with some instructions letting you know what to do, because you do have to stay checked in with them while you're on release. You do have a second case here. This is for a warrant issued for a direct complaint that's been filed. So that direct complaint alleges one count of possession of dangerous drugs and one count of possession of drug paraphernalia. The first one's a Class 4 felony, second's a Class 6. That has an offense date of March 1 of 2024. So in that matter, public defenders appointed as well, same court date, status conference September 5th, preliminary hearing September 9th, same release conditions. You are being released, but still subject to the supervision of pretrial services, okay? You'll get individual paperwork for both cases, but do you have any questions regarding it?
No, ma'am.
All right, thank you, sir.
Thank you.
All right, so we've got Gerard Flores, and then Jasper Hutchinson will be up after that. All right, so your full name and date of birth?
Jared Michael Flores, one.
All right, thank you. So you've got a new case that'll be out of Superior Court. This is alleging one count of possession of dangerous drugs, that's a Class 4 felony, and one count of theft, that's a Class 6 felony. They also submitted a charge of possession of a weapon during a drug offense. I didn't find probable cause on just that one count. It doesn't necessarily mean it's going away, but I was not provided with enough information here today.
Okay.
So the legal defender has been appointed to represent you. You do have a status conference set September 5th and a preliminary hearing September 9th, both at 8:30. Those will be at the Superior Court in downtown Phoenix.
Okay.
So in this case, I am following the PSA recommendation. I know you've got some history here, but I do also show it's fairly dated at this point. So I am releasing you on your own recognizance. That is going to be your promise to appear. All right, any questions regarding that?
No, ma'am.
All right, thank you, sir. All right, so we have Jasper Hutchinson and Edward Zimmerman up after that. All right, so your full name and date of birth?
Jasper Hutchinson, date.
All right, thank you, sir. So you're here for a new case out of Superior Court. This is alleging one count of unlawful flight from law enforcement. That's a Class 5 felony with the offense date of today, August 21. In your case, the Public Defender's Office has been appointed to represent you, and the status conference is set September 5th, preliminary hearing September 9th, both at 8:30. Those will be at the Superior Court located in downtown Phoenix. You'll get the address in your paperwork that you'll be receiving. So in this matter, I am going to be following the PSA recommendation. You are being released on your own recognizance. It is going to be your promise to appear at all future court dates. Any questions regarding any of that?
So the court dates are on the 5th and the 9th.
5th and the 9th, yep, and it'll be in your paperwork.
Okay.
Okay?
All
All right, thank you, sir.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
All right, so we've got Mr. Zimmerman, and Crandall Head will be up next. All right, so your full name and date of birth?
Edward Zimmerman.
All right, thank you. So you are here for a new case out of Superior Court. The charges are one count of theft of a means of transportation, a Class 3 felony, and one count of burglary in the 3rd degree, that's a Class 4 felony, with the offense date of February 26th and August 20. So in your case, the Public Defender's Office has been appointed to represent you. You do have a status conference set on September 5th, preliminary hearing September 9th, both at 8:30. That's going to be at the Superior Court located in downtown Phoenix. I did take a look at your history. I don't show that you have any other convictions. So I am going to be following the PSA recommendation at this point. You are being released on your own recognizance. It is your promise to appear. You do have orders in here that you are not to return to the scene of the offense or have any contact with any alleged victim, complainant, or witness in this matter. Any questions regarding this? All right, so if you want to go and step over, you can go and pick up that paperwork over there and have a seat. Thank you. All right, Mr. Head, and then we'll have Ashley Kinman up after that. All right, so your full name and date of birth?
Crandall Head.
All right, so you're here for a new case out of Superior Court. The charges are one count of aggravated DUI, that's a Class 4 felony, one count of failing to obey a police officer, a Class 2 misdemeanor, one count of possessing an open container of liquor in a vehicle, a Class 2 misdemeanor, and one count of criminal speed, that's a Class 3 misdemeanor. All of those have an offense date of today, August 21. So in your case, the Public Defender's Office has been appointed. You have a status conference currently set on September 5th and a preliminary hearing September 9th, both at 8:30, and that'll be at the Superior Court located in downtown Phoenix. I did take a look at your history. It's like you just had very limited criminal history. I think you just had driving on suspended license tickets. So in this case, I am following the PSA recommendation. You are being released on your own recognizance. It is your promise to appear. You do have orders, though, that you're not to possess any drugs without a valid prescription. You're not to possess or consume any alcohol while on release. Any questions regarding that?
No.
All right, thank you, sir.
Thank you.
All right, so we have Ashley Kinman. I show she is the last one, at least in the courtroom, to be seen. Okay. All right, Ms. Kinman, go and state your full name and date of birth.
It's Ashley B. Kinlan.
Thank you, ma'am. So you are here for a warrant that was issued out of the state of Indiana. So this is a fugitive of justice warrant. So in this matter, they were notified. They did both confirm the warrant as well as extradition in your case. So you were given that laminated sheet. Did you have an opportunity to take a look at it?
I read it all.
All right. So basically what that is that's the waiver of extradition paperwork. If you opt to waive extradition today to return to Indiana. I'm going to go over the two options that you have here today. And then if you do have any questions about either choice, you can go ahead and ask me at that point, okay? So the first choice, or the first option that you have, rather, is to waive extradition and return to Indiana, okay? When you do that, you are saying, I'm ready to go back on this warrant. I'm willing to waive any further hearings here in Maricopa County, because you would have no further hearings here. You'd also be held in the Maricopa County Jail non-bondable until Indiana comes to pick you up on that warrant. Now, Indiana, in turn, would then have 30 days starting tomorrow in order to come pick you up on the warrant. Now, that 30-day time frame starts tomorrow unless you have any local open cases. I don't show any, but if you do, those would have to be completed first, and then the 30-day time frame would start, okay? So that's if you want to waive extradition and just return to Indiana, okay? Your second option, you do not have to waive extradition here today. You can demand to have an extradition hearing or fugitive of justice hearing here in Maricopa County. If you opt to do that today, I'd be setting that hearing on September 9th at 1:30. That'd be at the Superior Court located in downtown Phoenix in front of the commissioner who handles these matters. Now, in that case, I can't appoint an attorney to represent you at that hearing because these matters are considered civil in nature. Even though this is a criminal case back in Indiana, the actual extradition case, which is what you're here on in this court, is a civil matter, okay? You do have the right to retain an attorney to represent you. I'll also note there are sometimes public defenders present at those hearings who can provide assistance, but there's no guarantee of that, okay? So in that case, you are entitled to bail. In this case, it would be a $5,000 secured appearance bond. So you still would be able to work with a bonding company in order to post that amount. But you would have to post that in order to be released prior to that next court date. Now, the process there is that a governor's warrant has to be signed by the governors of both states. So when you don't waive extradition, we have to get a governor's warrant issued. That's signed by the governors of both Indiana and Arizona in order to extradite you back to the state of Indiana. That process can be longer. It can take 90 days. That's the time frame. They have an extended time frame in order to issue that warrant, okay? So first, any questions regarding either of those?
What am I being charged with here? Am I being charged with anything here?
I don't have anything that you're being charged with here. Okay, so that's why I was saying if you have any local cases like out of a different court, like a city court or something, then that's totally separate from here. I wouldn't have that information. The only thing I have in front of me is this Indiana warrant. That's it. Okay. Any other questions?
I don't know where I go from here. I'd like to finish out what I'm doing here. I enjoy what I'm doing, and I'm learning a lot, so I would really like to stay here and get what I got to get done.
So are you requesting to have a fugitive of justice here in Arizona, hearing here in Arizona?
What does that mean? I mean, again...
either way, there's the possibility you're going to be extradited back to Indiana. I mean, there's no, you can just stay here and not do anything with the warrant. That's not one of the options. So if you ask for that fugitive of justice hearing, you're saying, I'm not agreeing to return to Indiana at this time. I want to have my fugitive of justice hearing, which you have the right to do.
Yes.
Okay, that's just basically saying I'm not waiving extradition, do the legal extradition proceedings, which can be longer. It can take a little bit longer because there's a little bit more to it. But you would end up with a bond. You'd still have to post that $5,000 secured appearance bond.
Okay.
But you want to do that? You want to go that direction?
Yes, I would like to. What is I've never been bonded. We don't have a bond in Indiana, so can I kind of get some help from somebody with that?
Right, yeah, you can talk to the officers in the back. They're probably actually far more familiar with the process than I am, since it all goes through the jail and they are a lot more, they have a lot more contact with it. A secured appearance bond, though, does mean you are able to work with a bail bonding company, which does mean you can often do a percentage of the bond along with security. As far as what they would require, though, you'd have to talk to them. So you can contact them. There's going to be phones back there with phone numbers for various companies that you can work with, okay? There's also phones back there if you need to reach out to someone else in order to assist you with this as well.
Okay, I don't have any numbers or anything. My phone was left at my residence, so I can't get OR today at all,
No.
I can't. Okay.
No, this is an out-of-state warrant in which they've confirmed as well as confirmed extradition. So no, you're not going to be released here today.
Okay. I'm very confused, but okay.
All right. So I'm going to go and set that hearing for you, since it looks like that's the direction you want to go in. So I'm entering that you are not waiving your rights at this time. We'll set that hearing September 9th at 1:30. That'll, again, will be at the Superior Court in downtown Phoenix. You'll get the court information in there. And then I did go ahead and set that $5,000 secured appearance bond for you. All right, any other questions before you go? We're going to print out your paperwork here. All right, thank you. We'll get that paperwork to you in a moment. All right, so it looks like we've got 3 separate house calls here. I'm going to start.